Samurai warriors never counted calories. They never did a single crunch. They didn't have protein shakes, gym memberships, or fat-burning supplements. Yet they maintained lean, powerful bodies capable of incredible endurance and explosive strength well into their later years. How? Today, I'm breaking down the samurai approach to losing belly fat, and it's completely different from what modern fitness culture teaches. Welcome to Kurashi Diaries, where we explore the quiet wisdom of Japanese everyday living. Here's the truth. We're told belly fat is about calories in, calories out. Do more crunches, cut carbs, try this supplement, follow this program. But samurai understood something we've forgotten. Belly fat isn't just about exercise or diet, it's about how you live your entire day. Your posture, your breathing, your relationship with food, your stress levels, your daily movement patterns, everything matters. Samurai training wasn't about aesthetics. It was about functional power, the kind that keeps you alive in combat. Their lean bodies weren't from trying to look good, they were a byproduct of living with discipline and purpose. They had 8 core principles that naturally created the conditions for a strong, lean body. Not quick fixes, not hacks. Principles that worked for centuries. First principle, Hara. This is your body's power center, located about 2 inches below your navel. Samurai understood that all movement originates from the core, not your shoulders, not your arms, your center. Every sword strike, every stance, every step came from engaging the Hara. Modern people live disconnected from their core, hunched over screens, breathing shallowly, moving from their extremities. This creates weak, inactive abdominal muscles that accumulate fat. The samurai solution? Constant Hara awareness. When you walk, engage your core. When you sit, sit upright from your center. When you breathe, breathe into your lower belly. This isn't doing abs, it's living from your core. Stand right now. Place your hand 2 inches below your navel. Breathe deep into that spot. Feel it expand. Now pull that area in and up slightly. That engagement? Samurai maintained that all day long. Not crunches. Constant activation through posture and breath. Second principle, Shugyo, daily disciplined training. Samurai didn't go to the gym 3 times a week. They trained every single day without exception. But here's the key. Their training was functional, natural movement, walking long distances, practicing sword forms, maintaining stances, carrying equipment. These weren't isolated muscle exercises. They were full-body functional movements that naturally engaged the core. Modern application for you? This means making movement non-negotiable daily practice. Not intense workouts you do occasionally, consistent movement you do always. Walk every day, practice good posture every moment. Move your body through natural ranges. The samurai walked everywhere, often 20 to 30 kilometers daily. That constant low-intensity movement, combined with occasional high-intensity training, created lean bodies without excess fat. Kokyu, warrior breathing. Third principle, Kokyu, breath power. Samurai breathing was different from normal breathing. It was deep, diaphragmatic, and centered in the belly. When you breathe shallowly into your chest, your deep core muscles don't engage. When you breathe deeply into your lower belly, your transverse abdominis, your deepest core muscle, activates with every breath. Breathing practice. Samurai practiced specific breathing patterns. The most basic, breathe in through your nose for a count of 4, expanding your lower belly. Hold for 4. Exhale for 8, drawing your navel toward your spine. This isn't just relaxation, it's core training. Do this breathing 20 times right now. Feel your abs working? That's your deep core engaging. Samurai did this hundreds of times daily, not as a workout, but as a way of breathing. Imagine the cumulative core work over years. Shoku, eating discipline. Fourth principle, Shoku, disciplined eating. Samurai had a saying, Hara Hachi Bu, eat until you're 80% full, not stuffed, not even completely satisfied, 80% full. This created a constant slight caloric deficit without counting a single calorie. They also practiced ichiju sansai, one soup, three sides, with rice, simple, whole foods, seasonal vegetables, fish or small amounts of meat, fermented foods, nothing processed. Eating timing. But timing mattered too. Samurai ate their largest meal early, often before training. Smaller meals later. No eating late at night. Why? Because they understood that eating when you're about to be active uses that food for fuel. Eating when you're about to rest stores it as fat. Modern science confirms this. When you eat matters as much as what you eat. Your body processes food differently at different times. Purposeful space. Fifth principle, Ma, the concept of purposeful space and stillness. Samurai understood that constant stress creates belly fat. When you're stressed, cortisol rises. Cortisol signals your body to store fat, especially around the midsection. Samurai practiced zazen, seated meditation, not for spirituality alone, but for stress management and mental discipline. 20 minutes of daily stillness to reset the nervous system, stress and fat storage. This isn't woo-woo, it's biology. Chronic stress keeps cortisol elevated. Elevated cortisol increases appetite, particularly for high-calorie foods, and directs fat storage to the abdomen. Samurai's daily meditation practice wasn't optional luxury, it was essential training for maintaining hormonal balance. Even 10 minutes of daily seated breathing practice can significantly reduce cortisol and change how your body stores fat. Kata, practiced forms. Sixth principle, kata, practiced forms. Samurai performed the same movement sequences daily, sometimes for decades. These weren't random workouts. They were precise, repeated patterns that built specific strength and mobility. The beauty of kata? They're designed for functional power, which means they engage multiple muscle groups simultaneously, including the entire core with every movement. Functional core work. A samurai drawing his sword engaged his core more intensely than any crunch could. Why? Because it was a full-body coordinated movement requiring core stabilization, rotation, and power transfer. You don't need to practice sword arts, but you need movement patterns that engage your whole body in coordinated action. Martial arts, yoga, traditional dance, even gardening with proper form. Movements that require your core to stabilize and transfer power, not just flex and extend. Shizen, natural living. Seventh principle, Shizen, living in harmony with nature. Samurai ate seasonally. They rose and slept with the sun. They trained outdoors. Why does this matter for belly fat? Because your circadian rhythm affects metabolism. Artificial light at night disrupts sleep. Poor sleep increases ghrelin, your hunger hormone, and decreases leptin, your fullness hormone. It also raises cortisol. Bad sleep literally makes you hungrier and stores more belly fat. Circadian alignment. Samurai naturally aligned with circadian rhythms by living according to sunlight. For you, get morning sunlight exposure. Limit artificial light at night. Sleep in complete darkness. Eat during daylight hours. These simple practices improve insulin sensitivity, reduce cortisol, and optimize the hormones that control fat storage and hunger. Modern science is rediscovering what samurai lifestyle naturally included. Shuhari, mastery through stages. Eighth principle, Shuhari, the stages of mastery. First, Shu, follow the rules exactly. Then Ha, break from the rules and adapt. Finally, Rai, transcend the rules and make them your own. This applies to losing belly fat. You can't skip to customization. First, you follow the discipline exactly. Daily movement, proper breathing, eating discipline, stress management, sleep alignment. Do it perfectly for 90 days. Only after establishing the foundation can you adapt to your life. Samurai spent years in Shu stage, perfect adherence to their master's teaching. Why? Because discipline creates freedom. Once the practices become automatic, once your body remembers, then you can adjust. But trying to customize before mastering the basics, that's why most people fail. They skip straight to RI without ever doing Shu. Living the warrior way. Here's what samurai belly fat loss looks like in practice. Wake with the sun, drink water. Practice deep belly breathing while sitting in stillness for 10 minutes. Walk for 30 to 60 minutes, maintaining core engagement and upright posture. Eat a substantial breakfast of whole foods, fish, rice, vegetables, fermented foods. Throughout the day, maintain Hara awareness. Sit properly, breathe deeply, move regularly. Daily warrior practice. Lunch is moderate, early afternoon. More vegetables, perhaps miso soup, walking after eating to aid digestion. Late afternoon, practice some form of movement kata, martial arts, yoga, or simply walking meditation with focused breathing. Light dinner early, then sunset routine. More breathing practice, seated stillness, complete darkness for sleep. No screens, no late eating, just natural rhythm. Why this works? Why does this lose belly fat? Because you're addressing every factor that creates belly fat. Constant core engagement builds muscle that burns calories. Daily movement creates energy expenditure. Deep breathing activates core muscles hundreds of times daily. Disciplined eating creates sustainable caloric balance. Stress management lowers cortisol. Sleep optimization balances hunger hormones. It's not one thing. It's integrated lifestyle. Modern fitness wants you to believe belly fat is solved by one thing, this workout, that diet, this supplement. But Samurai understood, your body is a system. You can't out-exercise a terrible diet, poor sleep, chronic stress, and shallow breathing. You need systemic change, not perfection, consistency, not intensity, discipline, not complexity, fundamentals done daily. Samurai didn't chase abs. They built functional warriors capable of protecting their lord and surviving combat. The lean body was simply what happened when you lived with discipline, moved naturally, ate with intention, managed stress, and slept properly. That same approach works today. Not because it's trendy, because it addresses the root causes of belly fat, not symptoms. Start with one principle, master it, add the next. In 90 days, your body will be different. Not from one thing, but from everything. That's the Samurai way. Which principle will you start with today? Let me know in the comments. And if you want to see a full Samurai training routine demonstration or detailed traditional Japanese meal prep for fat loss, tell me. The path of the warrior is daily practice. Begin now. Gambate.